Welcome back to the Badass Literature Society, where badasses come together to rate and review novels recommended by you. Hi, I'm Michael.
This is Barbara.
And I'm Lauren.
On this special bonus episode of Badass Literature Society, we're doing something a little different. No book review, no deep dive, just a fun round of Bookish This or That. For those of you that have not heard of this game, it's effectively I'm going to say two things, and we're all going to have to choose one of those things. Effectively, you pick this or that. Are you both ready?
Can you repeat the directions one more time?
I mean, let's be honest. I probably will pick both or neither.
I was going to say, are there any special rules?
You have to choose one or the other.
No.
This or that.
No.
Not both, not neither.
No fun, Michael.
Barbara.
Yes.
The first one is hardcover or paperback. And there's no order here. You guys can just jump in whenever.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
If I had to choose, I would choose hardcover. But when I was a broke college student, it was paperback. But now that I have some monies, I buy hardcovers.
Hardcover for the reading experience, the weight in your hand kind of thing, the way the pages stay open better. Paperback for the cost, hardback for the display ability on the bookshelf too. Mm-hmm. They usually have like prettier,
They do special editions and versions.
Yes.
For me, it's got to be hardcover. Or I just don't like, so paperback, I hate I recognize I'm a snob. I'll say this out loud before I say what I'm about to say. I hate the mass market paperbacks, the small ones. The text is just so small. It's annoying to read. So I'll get a paperback as long as it's one of the larger sized paperbacks. But hardcover is my pick.
Are you talking about those like teeny tiny ones that are
yes.
like,
yes.
I have never bought
the ones they sell at like the airport that are they're small.
I buy those.
I don't have an example in here.
I know, but I have quite a few of those back in my day.
Well, yeah, I have some older books too that are that type.
Like all my Lord of the Rings are those because it came in a little box set for cheaper.
My first version of Lord of the Rings were those, and then I've since purchased fancier editions of Lord of the Rings. But
I remember anytime we would go on vacation, I would finish the books that I brought with me, and so I would beg my mom to buy me a book on vacation, and she'd buy those really cheap. Like I have Salem's Lot, and it's like it's so bad. Michael would hate that one. But yeah.
I actually have that exact book that you're describing. So I know what you mean, and I would today's version of Michael would never have picked up that version of that book.
You know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
But,
so my mom bought me a book.
Middle school Michael. I think I got that at like Walmart or something back in the day. Anyway, next one: series or standalone? Series for me.
I feel like this needs more of a description because it depends.
Agree.
These are general. Series or standalone.
But I don't
both.
Nope, Barbara. We talked about this.
No, I didn't hear you.
You have to choose one or the other.
No, both. I like both.
Series or standalone.
Both. I will read both. I love series. I like standalones. I don't care. I will read both.
I can't. Michael, what did you pick?
I said series.
Series, okay.
Which is ironic because he doesn't finish any of the series.
I was going to say that.
The irony is not lost
to a new
on
series.
Us.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, how many series have you started that I told you to start and you've read maybe a book or two?
It's
of them?
really
Quite
a few. Problem.
I can name 4 off the top of my head.
And the problem is then I feel like I have to reread the first book or whatever it was in the series that I started. I do this with TV shows too. Like I'll come back and it's like, oh no, I don't remember what happened, and then I feel like I have to watch the show again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem. So you guys are also choosing series, or you're choosing standalone?
No, I'm doing both.
You can't.
So
I can't.
I have to choose one.
There's no gun on my head.
I'll pick standalone just because I like a good standalone. But that being said, there's a lot of standalone books that I wish were a series. So if I could choose both, I would. But I guess I'll pick standalone.
Mine is both. I like both. I would say my favorite books tend to be from a series, but not always.
There's
if
your
you're
answer.
holding a gun to my head, which you're not, so therefore both.
I'll take it. Lauren is now. You can't see the video, but Lauren's doing it. We all feel very threatened.
It was a finger gun for clarity.
She pulls out a real gun.
Lauren pulled out some chrome and pointed it right at the camera. All right, next one. First person or third person narration?
Third person. Easy.
Same.
Third.
Yeah.
Same. I
Third
like first
person.
person when it's done well, but
Yeah, it has to
That's
be
is
done well.
Barbara's exact answer when you talk about this.
Literally.
Like, I don't know how many times we've talked about this
Yes.
before, and she's
It
like, "It's
has to
good,
be
but
done well.
only if it's done well." Yeah.
Yeah. I prefer third person personally.
Next one, physical book or ebook? Ebook for
Ooh.
me. It's just so convenient. Like I love owning the physical book, but there's so I'm ashamed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. There are so many books that I have physical copies of that I will then buy or rent from the library the ebook to read it because it's just so convenient to read it on my Kindle.
I would say it just depends. Like obviously I prefer a physical book. Look at my bookshelf and it's just pretty and you can look at it and it's fun, it's easy to flip through the pages, you can see your cool books, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But for convenient purposes, an ebook is a lot easier. Like especially reading during lunch and stuff like that. Like I can eat with one hand and read on my ebook in the other. So, and then for traveling purposes, like it's a game changer. Like I remember when I was younger and ebooks weren't a thing, I would literally like yell at my mom because I wanted to pack so many books and she's like there's a weight limit, like you cannot be doing this. And
I'm
books are
picturing like little Barbara with like a backpack that's
yes.
like 40 pounds or
Yep.
something, just all books.
Yep, pretty much. And my mom would get so mad because it was so heavy and I would read all of them. And so it's like, like, what do you do? And I like game changer when I got my first ebook and I went back home to Brazil. And I remember I only had like 3 books on it. I literally read those 3 books like 4 times each because I was like, this is all I have. So I guess I'm rereading these 4 books. It's game changing. So like for someone who like me who travels a lot, who loves traveling, it's just and I take it everywhere. Like when I go to doctor visits and stuff, I just pop out my ebook and just read it while I'm waiting, the 2 hours to see a doctor or something like that. So shout out. I can't pick because it's hard.
Because you
Like
like both. That's fair.
yes, I
I'll
like
give it to you for
both.
this one.
No.
Okay. There's rules for independent questions.
I
No, the
told you
rules still
this is
stand.
number 3, question number 3.
She primarily picked one, but gave her reasoning why she also uses the other.
So I have to pick based on stage of life currently. And you
Audio.
didn't put audio on here, so
I didn't. It's this or that, Lauren, not this, that, or the other.
in the
Wow.
abstract, given my whole if you look at my life as a whole, I always usually prefer the physical copies.
Mhm.
I think that in my current stage of life, and for the reasons Barbara mentioned, like my Kindle fits in my purse, so if I, on the off chance, get to go to a doctor's appointment without my children, I can maybe read.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
So this next one's kind of odd. At least I think it is. Maybe you won't. Read at home or read in public?
Oh.
Probably at home for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer reading at home, but like I'm
Yeah.
not embarrassed to read in public. Obviously, I do.
I mean, I think this is
So,
like your preference. So mine is at home.
yeah, I mean,
I guess
I'll
there's
I'll
read
probably
read.
some people out there who
there.
maybe like going to like the coffee shop and reading there.
I
Maybe that's what
guess
they're
I didn't
talking
think
about.
about that. I mean, I'll read anywhere. Like, but I mean, preference. I read at
Home.
home.
Ooh, Barbara's gonna feel offended by this next one. That'll be fun. Use a bookmark or dog ear the page.
Oh my god. You crazy people who book ear or dog ear pages are psychopath and I will not be friends with you and we will not have this discussion. My sister is one of those people and she would ruin my books and I hate her for it. But bookmark, you know how many bookmarks I have? Like I have so many bookmarks. I love collecting bookmarks. They're fun. You can get really cute ones and I have probably at this point I think I have at least like easily 50 bookmarks, I
I
think.
bet you have more than that. So
You
for
think so?
context, we have a secret book on our bookshelf that is used to store bookmarks.
It's full.
It's full of bookmarks.
Yeah. We need a new one cuz it's full.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been collecting bookmarks since I've been reading. So like I still have my bookmarks from elementary school that my teacher was like, "Good job, Barbara, A plus," and she would give me a little bookmark because she knew I was so excited for stupid bookmarks. I still have those.
I mean, I think the right choice is not to dog ear it, but you just take the book and just crack it in half so that it's like it's held open at the point.
I've seen a TikTok of someone
I
doing
said that
that.
just for
Absolutely not.
Barbara's face.
Absolutely not.
My answer is bookmark. Obviously,
No,
any
that
other
is
choice
not.
is going to ruin your book.
Yeah, I mean, bookmark for sure. Now,
Oh.
did I dog ear some academic books in my day?
Yeah,
I
I
did,
mean, that's different.
but
I definitely did too.
but not books that I actually care about.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm reading a special edition of one of my books right now, and it's a hardcover, and I don't even crack the spine all the way. Like, I'm gingerly reading it so I don't ruin it and it looks pristine. That's how I treat
She's
my
got
book.
her white gloves on while she's holding
I
it so
sure
that
do.
Okay.
her oils don't get on it.
Hear me out though about the spine thing. Have you ever bought a book that the spine was so like tight that you had to like turn it to read
That's
it?
how I read
I
it.
hate
That's how
that.
Barbara reads
No,
it.
that's how I'm reading my book right now. I literally
Oh,
turn it to
okay.
read it.
Yep, you just described Barbara. All right, next this or that. Annotate or keep it pristine.
I feel like I already answered this.
I feel like we all know Barbara's
keep it
answer.
pristine. Although, I know like people use I don't know what they're called, like little book tabs, like those little
That's
like
what I'd call it. Yeah, little plastic sticky tabs.
yeah, like I have a bunch of those. So like if you're going to do that, then I do it that way, and then you just color like you color coordinate them, or if you have like real cool editions, like I have some of those. Like each thing means something, but I
So you don't
don't.
highlight your books, Barbara?
Absolutely not. The Kindle is nice because obviously you can highlight that. I'll
Right.
do that on my Kindle. But no, not on a physical book. I would either use those stickies, but like I know people use that, but like what do they use that for? Like they're like, oh, this is for like this scene that I like, but like I remember where it is, so I'll just go to it. I don't know.
Some people aren't fortunate to have the memory
Yeah.
that you have and
I
need
want
Not
a
everybody's
reminder.
brains work that way,
Well,
Barbara.
I mean, I guess I want to ask like the people who literally, because I've seen like obviously on Book Talk like a bunch of like they just like sticky tab all of these, and I want to sit down with them and ask them like, what like do you go back and reference when you're what
Maybe
is it?
for like a book club or like something like this where they want
Yeah,
to
or if
remember.
maybe they want to remember, like if they write reviews for books or like on Goodreads or something, and they take that seriously, or they maybe have a blog,
Hmm.
so they color code like the things they want to remember to maybe reference or quote in the review or talk about at book club, like Lauren said.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
For this one, I would say keep it pristine in general, but if it's academic, like in college, all of my stuff is written on and highlighted. And
Yeah.
like if I'm having to like learn something, I do better with being able to
Yeah.
annotate. But if it's for pleasure or any of my actual books that I care about, then that's why I always had to buy my books. I could never rent my books in college because I would mark them up. So
Yeah, I would use this. That's why I have a bunch of those little stickies. Is I would use that and just put it on like the thing, so I wouldn't highlight my books and ruin the books. So
I agree with both of you. Pristine is my choice here as well. Let's see. Next one: library or bookstore.
both libraries are very important, and we should still support libraries. And I use both. I use the Libby app to use the library and stuff like that. I think it's very important for us to still promote libraries. They're a
Yeah.
very important part of like not everyone's fortunate to buy books, and I understand like bookstores are important. Honestly, the real problem here is Amazon. Library, bookstore, both. Amazon, no. Don't buy your books. Like physical books, don't buy them from Amazon.
I was gonna say, says all three of us that have a Kindle.
Well, so Kindle is
I
different
assume
because
that she
it's a
meant physical
Kindle. It's
books.
physical books. Don't buy physical books from
Buy your physical
from
books from a
Amazon.
physical bookstore,
Yeah, like
even if
local
it's
indie
Barnes and
store,
Noble, because
bookstore. I know
Barnes
it's
and
funny
Noble
that
is now the
Barnes
little
and
guy.
Nobles is like the last. Honestly, Barnes and Nobles is last big giant that's standing against Amazon, and if they go down, then that's it, and
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Well, probably what, like them and Books a Million. They still have a lot of locations.
True.
Anyway,
Chappelle still has several bookaholics, but
Yeah.
this one I will allow all of us to choose both because I agree with
okay.
Barbara's
Yeah, because
statement that
Michael wants to choose
libraries
both.
are no. Okay, it's because I agree with her statement that libraries are really important. Let's see, new release or backlist title.
What's a backlist title? I'm not
Something
sure.
on your TBR list.
Oh.
Like the brand new book that you want to read that just came out, or something in your backlog that's been on your shelf for 6 years.
Is this like if we read, like which one we're picking,
Which one you're
or
gonna
like
choose? Yeah.
buying?
Which
So I
one you're
have
gonna
both.
choose?
My problem is I always choose the newer ones because like it's fresh in my mind, and
Mhm.
then they just get added to the TBR.
I try
Uh,
to switch mine up.
yeah, I also try to do that, but I feel like a lot of times I end up going for a backlist title because I've got so many, as Barbara called me out for earlier, so many series that I'm in the middle of that I need to go back and continue reading. I try to choose backlist. When it's not a podcast book, I try to choose a backlist title.
Yeah, I try to do both. I try to be like, okay, like here's a new release that you bought. Okay, and then the next one I'll read is like one that I've kind of had sitting around. So I
Yeah,
try to alternate. So I
do a little back and forth.
yeah, so I'm not doing that. But let's be honest, I have so many books, so little time.
Let's see. Next one, book with a map or book with a family tree.
I don't think I've ever read a book with a family tree. Have you guys?
Yeah.
Really?
I
What?
have. I'm
Yeah,
trying
there
to
have
think
been there have
what
been
it
some
was.
books that have it.
Really?
I've seen some, yeah, but I would
I
prefer
can't think of it
that.
off the top of my head, but I have definitely seen that in books. Yes.
Oh man, maybe I don't pay maybe I don't pay attention. I don't think I've ever noticed a book with a family tree in it. Oops.
I read one within the last couple of years. I just can't think of what it was. I'll have to think of it.
Hmm.
But I'm always prefer a map because I feel like it gives me a nice visual of
Mm.
like what the author is intending us to envision.
Yeah. Mine would be book with a map or book with a timeline, like a date. Is that just a timeline? I don't know what to call that. Is there another name for that?
No, timeline is correct.
Okay. I prefer timeline. If I had to
Yeah.
pick between a map and a timeline, family tree, I couldn't tell you if any book I've ever read that had a family tree. So clearly, I'm not paying attention to those. But I prefer timelines. Like the current book I'm currently reading, wow, Barbara, the book I am currently reading has a timeline, and I literally like looked at it and I reference it, and then that's how I'm like, oh, this person is this person, and like you can guess on stuff if you have a timeline. I love
Barbara probably already
I love
knows
me a
my
timeline.
answer for this one.
A map. You're obsessed
Yep.
with maps. I think I'm out of both of you two, I'm the one who doesn't really care for maps because I'm confused anyway. So I'm just,
I love a
let's just
map.
go. Let's go on an adventure. If it like I will notice though, like if you're telling me something and then it's not really making sense to me, like how they cross, then I will notice that. But I tend not to reference too much of a map. I like a good
Love
map;
love
it
a
looks pretty. But
love a fantasy book that has a good map that I can
yeah,
reference.
yeah.
Especially if it has like a bunch of, I don't know, like location jumping.
Yes, that's true.
It's nice in like the fantasy, like the different worlds to be like, okay, where the
Yeah.
hell are we? Like
Right.
where like
That
the
is
river is
nice.
in the middle. Okay, so then
Like
to the
multiple point
east
of views in multiple locations, the map is really helpful for that. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I mean, I just love maps in general. In real life, I like maps. In video games, I love a good map.
Mm.
In Dungeons and Dragons, love a good regional map or world map.
Okay.
It's true. Huh?
Map boy over here.
I like maps. Let's see. Next, villain redemption arc or villain defeat.
Mm.
So, do you want to see the villain get redeemed, or do you want to see the villain lose?
I think it
I
depends.
see a redemption arc, but it depends on the villain,
Yeah,
honestly.
agreed.
Fair.
Like if we're talking like Dolores Umbridge, there ain't no redemption.
Right, I completely agree.
But like certain baddies, I like to see a good comeback.
Yeah, I think it depends on the book. Like if they were meant to be a redeemable villain type person,
Sure.
like I'm just thinking of like Avatar
Like
the
Lord
Last
Voldemort.
Airbender. What?
Like Lord Voldemort in the Harry Potter
No,
No.
like
series.
Snape. No,
Uh
I know
Which
Barbara.
character in
I
Avatar are you
know how
thinking
Barbara
of?
feels about Snape.
Zuko.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, right? Like he was a villain. I mean, spoilers, I guess, if no one's seen it, but like if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? But like stuff like that, like where it's obviously it's planned. I actually prefer a villain redemption like that. But like if it's just a crappy villain, then obviously not. I think it just depends on the book, you know?
Yeah.
What podcast books have we read that had like villain redemption arcs? Because I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think.
Ooh, good question.
Have we read any that have that?
Not that I can think of. That's why I'm asking. If
I'm
you
not
guys
sure we
remember,
have.
because my memory sucks. So
Yeah,
I'm
I would
not.
have to
I'm not
look.
sure if we
The
have.
problem is like pulling out of thin air. I would have to look at a list of like the books we did. So
yeah, I mean, I think I normally get satisfaction from the villain getting defeated, just because it's probably a more commonly come across thing too.
Yeah. That's me.
But,
That's my pick. The villain defeated would be my choice.
but it does just depend on the villain, because some villains I feel like are just irredeemable, even if they tried to write an arc.
right. I'm looking through, and I don't think we've read anything.
We'll have to get on that, I guess.
Well, so I feel like it would be spoilers, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember it so you can tell Lauren after we're done recording.
Well, it's not one she read. It's one that you and I read when she was on her baby leave.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then probably don't tell Lauren because that would be
Well,
spoilers.
right.
Even for her.
So
Yeah.
there, looking through this, maybe, but like mostly no.
Really curious what you're both gonna pick for this next one: enemies to lovers or friends to lovers.
Enemies.
Oh,
I
these are
like
like
both, but
I
I'm
was
going
gonna
enemies.
say these are some of my two like top tropes that I love. Okay. Here's my caveat. This better, like, if I'm going to pick an enemies to lovers, it better be an enemies to lovers. It can't be any of this like
Not like a frenemy.
no, or like the rivals to lovers. Like that's the okay. First off, if we're in school setting or if we're like in office setting, that's not your enemy. That is your rival. There is a difference. Enemies is like fantasy battlefield type stuff, right? And then I don't want to be like, oh hey, here we are. And then she's like, oh, and he's so gorgeous. Not an enemy then. That is not an enemy. You can't think that they're attractive and still consider them an enemy. An enemy is like, I hate their guts, I want them to die, and then slow burn, then you fall in love. It's not like he's attractive, and then then it's not an enemy to me. So, truly, enemies to lover, yes, but it's very rare when you get a true enemies to lover. And I like friends to lovers too. I think that's cute when it's done.
I would agree with that. I would add the same caveat.
Yes.
Just that I
Caveat.
pick enemies if it's done well.
It's amazing.
But then I think there are more like poorly written enemies to lovers tropes than friends to lovers. So like if you take 10 books that are all have like a romance plot, you're more likely to get a good experience from a friends to lovers. Just because of the way that they're written. But if somebody can do it well with enemies, that'd be my choice.
Like the one that I'm thinking of that tried enemies to lovers and it wasn't at all is the Ren and the Holly Library. That was not enemies to lovers.
Really enemies.
Like she literally goes, he's so attractive when she first saw him, and then he like smacked her across the room, and that's not considered enemies to lovers. Sorry, because you thought he was attractive. First off, so
it was like intruder, like
exactly
protecting his house kind of thing.
Intruder to lovers.
So I mean, I don't really read a lot of books that have either of these tropes in it, to be perfectly honest. But I'm going to choose friends to lovers because that is Barbara and I's love story. Oh.
It is, I like friends to lovers. It's not. It's cute.
Let's see. Next one: strong plot or deep character development.
I hate this question. I think it's come up multiple times in different like would you rather whatever. For me,
I feel like you can't pick because it needs to be both. Like if you know how to write a book, you can do both. Sorry, I'm just saying.
But if you could only pick
no,
one.
Absolutely not. Because those are such two different
they're
things.
Intertwined. I feel like if you're gonna make me pick one, I would pick the deep character development because I feel like you can connect with characters even if the plot maybe has some holes in it.
Agreed.
Here and there. So I guess I would pick that, but I feel like any author that has the ability to write a really good plot or really good characters probably is doing both.
Is that your pick too then, Barbara?
Okay, I will always stand on this hill. I feel like if it's an extremely well-written story, you're going to have both. But I think if you're going to do one that I'm going to be more invested in and I'm going to really enjoy, it's a deep character development. Because I feel like if you have a strong plot but you have crappy characters, like I'm just not going to be really like it's just emotionally it's not connecting with me
Sure.
versus like maybe a story that doesn't really the plot doesn't really go anywhere but like I'm invested in these characters and their growth, then that's the one I'm going to choose. And I think it's harder to do a deep character development than a strong plot, and I think women write deep character better personally. I've noticed that men tend to lean more on the plot and then versus
Because
the
women have naturally better attention to detail.
oh, I didn't say anything. I just said I have noticed that if there is one that outlays the other in a story or in a book, that I've noticed that women tend to lean more towards the character development and men tend to do more of a plot driven book.
Fair.
But amazing writers can do both men and women. I'm not crapping on men here, okay?
I mean, I'm also good. If I have to pick one, I'm going to choose deep character development. I already know Barbara's answer for the next one. Slow burn or insta love?
Slow burn.
Slow burn. I love a slow burn. Give me 1,000 pages and they barely touch hands. Like, oh yeah, love that for me. I
You don't love
don't.
insta love?
I
Love at
don't. I
first sight?
hate. I.
It's too
It's like my.
cheesy.
It is. It's my one of my least favorite things.
Also, just very unrealistic.
That's what I'm saying. That's just like you can be like, oh, I find I don't think it's love, it's lust, and there is a difference.
Right. Like in my lifetime, I've seen people where I'm like, man, wow, like their energy is really
right
draws you in, and like they're very attractive. But it's
right.
like I could never say that I love someone unless I've like actually taken time to get to know them.
Right.
I could love the idea of you. I could love the way that somebody looks, or like their education, or like the way that they talk, and like all the things. But like, I don't know. I think it's super unrealistic.
Which is
like, oh my gosh, I love you, and I just met you.
Right. I think it's funny that you and I are both slow burn lovers because I feel like we're in the minority. I feel like a lot of
women,
people
I think,
prefer insta love. Like I've noticed that because like anytime I'm reading a book, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. It's like a slow burn, and I'll read like the reviews, and they're like, ugh, slow burn. I'm like, what?
Too long. I know.
Yes, they're like it took too long, and blah. I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
That's my
like
friend Sam, but like she reads a lot of smut, so it's all very instant. Like if they're
can't.
not like banging within the first 3 or 4 chapters.
But here's the thing, like I'm not saying like don't give me a good banging scene or whatever, but like that's like I want to be fed, and it feels more like I worked hard for that to get those scenes. If it's a slow burn,
Barbara
like
likes the foreplay.
a girl who doesn't. If you don't, there's something wrong with you.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I think that like it's just more. I think when I'm reading, I want it.
It's like a reward.
Yeah, it's like a reward. That was perfect. Michael,
I mean,
what about you?
I agree with you. Slow burn is more realistic. Insta love is cheesy, and typically, insta love is found in the genre of books that I tend to not read as much. So that would be my choice. Let's see. Did I skip one? I did skip one. Love triangle or found family?
Found family, 100%.
Yeah, same.
Found family. I love a found family.
Hate a love triangle trope.
I
Just
don't hate
it.
a love
I
triangle,
don't hate
but
a love triangle, but I love a found family.
same here. I don't dislike love triangle. Let's be honest. Once again, a love triangle, true to its form, has to be a love triangle. That means Bob, Misty, and Steve all like each other. That's a love triangle. It tends to just be like both
A love
Bob and
angle.
Steve like Misty, not,
Wait, a love triangle isn't all three like each other equally.
Yes, it is.
Technically, if you think about the shape of a triangle,
in the
it
shape
is.
of a triangle. We're not using this term correctly.
Okay.
Technically, it's like Twilight is technically a love angle.
Yes, it's a love angle, not a triangle.
Because Jacob and Edward are not interested in each other. So,
but if you say love triangle,
yeah. Most people like I'm being that bitch. I'm being annoying. I understand. I just think it's funny. People are like, love triangle. I was like, well, realistically speaking, it's not a love triangle.
I mean, there are people that have written fan fiction where Jacob and Edward do
See?
hook up.
That
So
also
Good
in
for
that fan
them.
fiction, that's a love triangle then.
Yes, agreed. Regardless, I prefer found family.
Same. I already know Lauren's answer for this next one. Open ending or neatly wrapped conclusion.
wrap that shit up for me. At least, and it doesn't even have to be like a neatly wrapped package, but at least give me enough closure, especially if your ass isn't gonna drop the next book for like 5 years. Give me enough closure to make it by, you know. Don't leave it so open ended. There are a few books that I have read, and I'm like, okay, I think that leaving it open ended added something to that. But like in the abstract, love a good ending that at least provides bare minimum closure.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that. I feel like to do a open ending, you have to do it well, and it's not everyone that does it well. And so I would lean more towards a wrapped conclusion. It doesn't have to be neatly wrapped, but I would prefer that because I think an open ending book or story is really hard to pull off, and if you're not good at doing that, then you're just gonna piss off a lot of people.
Well, since you guys both chose that, I'm going to go with open ending because I love a good open ended book. Where you the
Makes
reader
sense. You don't
get
complete
to fill
anything
in the
else in life,
blanks.
so
Wow.
I just really wanted to say that.
The reader gets to fill in the
just
blanks.
joking.
Hey, reviewer that it says they gang up on me, this would be a good episode for you to listen to and
I
comment
did
on.
not say anything, Michael. I said nothing. My
I'm
face,
just-
my jaw was as on the floor as yours.
I'm just kidding. Michael, why do you like an open ending? Go on.
I do. I like an open ending. I think books that are well written in that way can give you an open ending where the reader tries to fill in the blanks as to what happens next.
Okay,
and I enjoy that.
Let me ask you this though: have you read some books that had open endings that were terrible and you were left frustrated?
Yes.
Right. So
Now let's get the other way. Have you read some books that had a neatly wrapped ending
No.
that you didn't like too?
The
Yes, I
Divergent
have.
Series.
Which one?
The Divergent series.
Oh, you know what? Yes, that one. That one was terrible. But I'm not sure if it was neatly wrapped. It was terribly wrapped.
It was like there was closure, but I just hated how it ended. So
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. I like an open ending.
I mean, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. I'm just joking.
Rude.
Everyone, I'm just teasing. Do not get on my.
Next one. Unreliable narrator or omniscient narrator. Unreliable narrator all day, every day. I love an unreliable narrator. Probably for the same reason I like an open ending.
No.
I like the unreliable narrator better.
Unreliable? Yeah, I like an unreliable narrator when we don't know it's unreliable. Like that's my favorite twist. That is personally my favorite twist. If you're in this and you're like, yes, girl, and then at the very end you're like, bitch is crazy, what? And then you get all this stuff. That's my favorite.
Bet on the wrong pony.
Yep, exactly. I would say unreliable narrator if we don't know they're unreliable. If you know they're unreliable at the very beginning, it kind of removes that kind of ooh for me, but for sure.
Like the potential of the twist that comes with it.
Yeah.
And the omniscient narrator, no one likes to know it all, so.
I don't dislike an omniscient narrator, depending on the book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously, I think the omniscient narrator is a lot more common.
It is, yeah.
Let's see. Morally gray main character or purely heroic one?
I'm trying to think.
I don't want to go first. I feel like I keep going first all the time. I have strong opinions.
Morally gray. Morally gray. I like a morally gray character. I think when I was younger, I loved the purely heroic characters, but I think as an adult, I like the morally gray characters because they feel more real. Because there aren't very many people that really lived that were purely heroic. But there are a lot of people that did good things that are morally gray or morally dubious. So I find those characters a lot more interesting. Personally.
I agree. I've always enjoyed a morally gray character, and I prefer, even as a kid, I feel like I still lean towards more the morally gray characters. I prefer them. I feel like it gives characters more of a like it makes them feel three-dimensional versus just a purely heroic one. Not to say a purely heroic one isn't bad, like they are, but it's always nice to see those kind of fall down and tumble a little bit. But
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you there.
I would agree. Morally gray is more. I would agree with Michael. Like when I was younger, I liked to read stories where the main character was just the hero all the time, kind of thing. But I think the morally gray characters are more relatable
Yep.
and just makes for a more interesting read.
mm-hmm.
All right. Next one. Read one book at a time or multiple books at once. Barbara's laughing at me on the video because I read multiple books at once and it drives her crazy.
I would choose, if I get to choose, I would choose reading one at a time, but I'm usually juggling at least two because of book club and the podcast.
Yeah.
But I would choose one at a time just because, I don't know, I don't like to. But which is weird because I go between like 3 or 4 shows at a time. Like James and I have several shows. I have a show that I watch like without him. So like I can juggle that, but I can juggle that better than I can books.
Mm. In a perfect world, I would read one book at a time, but I also tend to read at least 2 books at a time, one for pleasure and one for the podcast. So, but I would prefer reading one book at a time if I had to choose.
Mine's at least 2 at a time. I think if you look at my Goodreads right now, I'm in the middle of like 4 books or something. It probably says so.
And you still
It'd be like
can't
that.
remember
I do the
half
same
of
thing
them.
with TV shows. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that happens sometimes too.
exactly.
And with that, we have reached the end of this bonus episode. We've got more questions, so we will jump in and do this again in a future bonus episode. But for now, we're going to call it there. Barbara, you want to bring us home?
That term always cracks me up. Anyways, have
That's why I use
feedback.
it.
Yeah. Have feedback about today's episode. You can contact us by writing to badassliteraturesociety@gmail.com. You can also send us a DM or leave a comment on our social medias.
Make sure you're following Badass Literature for free in your favorite podcast app. Give us a rating and leave us a review if they allow you to. Super helpful for us to see that, as well as getting good feedback. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. Our handle on both Instagram, Facebook, and Goodreads is at Badass Lit Pod. If there's a book you want us to read, let us know. And with that, we'll see you later this month for our normal review.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Michael.
I'm Barbara.
I'm Lauren.
Bye.
Bye.